What's up,
Hey,
Sergio?
buddy. What's up? What's happening?
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year, sir. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm rebounded from the October. I call it got caught my hand in the cookie jar event.
Mm,
So about fully recovered. About I need about another 400,000 to go, and I'll be at all time highs again.
yeah.
But I wanted to get a little education from you because there's something. I've been selling options full time now for about 6 years.
Hmm.
And there's a concept that I was exposed to very early on in my, in my career, if you will.
Hmm.
But I never really embraced the concept. But then here recently, I keep hearing a lot of chatter about this concept again, and I just want to understand it, like really understand it, because I think I have I have the I'm familiar with the concept, but that's different than like really understanding it, if that makes sense, right? Like
Yeah,
a lot of people are like, oh, I'm familiar with covered calls, I'm familiar with cash secured puts, but when it comes down to actually like managing it over and over, you realize that it's all situational and it's not one size fits all, right?
yeah. I agree.
Um, but there's this theory called max pain. How
Yeah.
familiar are you with this max pain theory? Because I feel like that's where the majority of the options expire worthless, but how do you see it on the options chain to
Pretty
where it like
easy.
really stands out to you? Like,
Yeah,
can you
pretty
show that to
easy.
me?
So Max Pain theory has been around for a long, long time, for decades
Mhm.
actually. So there is only two things that can make a stock pin to a strike where the highest open interest exists on puts and calls.
Mhm.
That's where they're going to pin it for both sides to expire worthless or very close to worthless, right? So if you look at an option chain, Max Payne, let's say, big moving stock, Hood. Okay, let's go with Hood, right?
Okay.
Very popular with retail, right?
Of course. Yeah, for sure.
So if you were to look at your option chain, in fact, let's take a look at it. Um, Let me go
Yeah.
to
Are
that.
you able to pull it up? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay.
So I was like looking at these furus on X, go, oh, I sell cash secured puts at 120 on Hood. I'm like, fuck, stock is 105. Now what are you going to do?
Mm,
But long story short, let's click on it. And let's go to January 16th, which is today.
right.
Let's look at 110. Stock is where? 110.01. They're going to pin it at 110, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't like those. No. I'll
Okay,
put it back.
so let's look at the January 110s. The puts 14,216 open interest. That's the highest open interest within the next 10 strikes, probably. And Hood is on dollar strike. Okay. You see what I'm saying
Where
here?
I see your cursor, but I'm trying to find the 14,000.
No,
Oh, I
well,
see it.
just
I see it on the far right. I see it.
yeah, far right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can look on your own screen too.
No, I see it. I see it.
Okay. And conceivably, we have 4,200 calls expiring today. That is not the highest open interest, but then, as you know, once you pin it at 110, anything above 110 is going to expire worthless,
Right.
and anything below 110 is going to expire worthless, right? Usually they'll pin it to the highest. That's the max pain. Usually where they can make most of the shit expire worthless is what they're playing for.
Right.
Now we should watch Hood until the end of the day. Today's low on Hood was 106.88. So and if you look at the volume, by the way, let's look at the volume on the puts. 7,600 of those traded. Okay. And over 4,200 inches, 25,000 of the calls traded.
Wow.
So what would it be? What would be, and with that range today, by the way, stocks range is 111.25 high, 106.88 low. So the calls had a 10-cent low, $1.93 high range, and the puts had 32-cent low,
Right.
$3.30 high. Do you see how it makes sense for them to expire it right at 110 and all that
Yeah.
premium will be disappearing? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because
So that's
I was
Max
talking
Payne.
about it like you know how you see the sports betting lines or whatever, and it's like
Yeah,
plus
yeah,
3 minus 3, and it
yeah.
seems like holy cow, man! Like in the last few minutes of the game, it's always like right in that vicinity.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's Max Payne. So when you look at the call puts, 30-cent low, $3.30 high,
Right.
and the volume is immense, right? And if you look at the calls, open interest is 4,100, but 26,000 calls traded today.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
high of $2 and high of 330 on the puts. There's a combined premium for just today of $5. It would clearly make sense to close it at 110 or very close to above, a few pennies above, a few pennies below. But that's on expiration, so don't get too stuck with that, right? Max Payne.
They say it's just a theory, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a theory on expiration that they will usually, it's going to be a round number, and usually they're going to pin it at that number for everything to expire worthless. Everything above and below obviously is going to expire worthless, but especially if the stock had a wide range. There is another theory that goes around, which I think I do actually buy that theory. That's called MVC, most valuable contract. That happens for a lot of zero DTE traders, right? And market has a tendency, by the way, of moving to MVC if you're trading zero DTEs. I don't trade, very, very rarely I put iron condors or trade zero DTEs, because when the market's going sideways, I mean, sell the put credit spread, sell the call credit spread, and just let them expire worthless. That's a big business, by the way. So on
I've never been attracted to zero DTs. I just always heard it's the hardest trade. Like
there is serious money in there. If you're a seller, TJ, you need to pay maybe a little bit. Maybe we can do like an offline kind of a little session with you, because there is solid validity in that. Like today, for example, right? Market's just going sideways.
Right.
Yes, it had a little swoosh, but then whatever. And if MVC today is 69.20, they're going to pin it at 69.20, and both sides, like if you had put on a put credit spread and a call debit spread, iron condor,
right,
with limited risk, right? Because you're risking whatever your wings width is at, body of maybe 50, 60 points, and market's going sideways. Theta decay is just going to take you to promised land. And I have a good friend up in Canada that does that, called Quant Data, and they don't look at charts, they don't look at anything, they just analyze gamma, delta, vega, charm, and all they do is sell PCS and CCS. And I'm like, I need to pay attention to this. I started actually paying attention maybe 3 months ago.
Interesting.
I do like trading. I may incorporate that into my arsenal. Every old dog learns new tricks, kind of a thing. And they do very, very well selling premium on a daily basis. And but you heard about that guy that blew $50 million, right? The martingale guy.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's what he was doing. So every day he would double up. Like you go to Vegas, you bet on red, you lose once, bet double.
The Martingale sports strategy.
Yeah, Martingale sports or gambling strategy, and he did that. He blew $50 because the dealers, his size was so large. The last day he put on 90,000 iron condors. 90,000 on both sides, and they took him in the money, and he got wiped out. Because when you don't fuck with the dealers, you know what I'm saying? They're taking the other side of the trade. You think they're willing to lose?
It's like your bookie, man. Like he doesn't even care about your bet. He takes the other side, and somehow he wins more than you do.
Yeah, because he lays it off. He hedges it, and then he lays it off with another bookie and collects your 10%. I mean, the vig is the vig, right? We got to pay the vig. So that's Max Payne. That's MVC. I'm really paying close attention to MVC. I really do like selling condors, not naked, by the way, not naked strangles. We're not selling naked strangles. So we have the defined downside. The only risk is obviously Trump saying something and then blow you away. But then again, your wings are going to protect you to a point, right?
Right.
But we should definitely talk about that. I think you will. You can do like with small size to just understand the concept. and I think it's a valid concept.
So a couple of weeks ago, I caught a couple of your streams. I was driving or whatever, so I put you on while I was driving. I don't know. It was like an hour drive, and you were on one of these. I'm not sure if it was around noon. Yeah, like power hour. Is this what this one's called?
Yeah,
Power
this
hour.
is power hour today. Yeah, noon Eastern. Yeah, so
Yeah. And you were on a rant on what was the BMNU? You're on a BMNU rant.
I'm
Like
fucking in it.
you have
I'm,
like a you, but luckily you had a pretty good entry point though, right? So
I have a
think
great entry point. I'm not talking about that. What I was saying is that people don't understand these 2x ETFs.
yeah,
They're just going in, and I'm like, bro, there's thing called volatility drag. You're gonna get wiped out. Actually, the best trade on the planet, the bearish ones and the bullish ones, just short them. They're all gonna go to zero at some point.
Yeah.
Unless you catch a move, they're fun, you know.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
But the protection on that was people just don't understand it. They go buy it, hold it long term. You cannot buy and hold long term 2x ETFs. You just can't.
No.
I mean, the poster child is Tesla. Look at Tesla and look at
TSL.
TSL.
It's crazy, right?
I mean, bro, what are you people doing? But then you know what, TJ, if you don't do your due diligence, you deserve what you're getting at some point.
Yeah.
I will take your money. If you really wanted to throw your money away, I'll take it.
Yeah, I've been using BMNU to recover some of the BMNR because I'm like it's giving me a nice little like I can get $1 and I do it over and over on 100,000 shares quickly.
Well, that's working out.
But I ain't overstating my welcome on those. I think the biggest issue is you overstay your welcome and you get screwed bad, man.
Well, if you don't sell options on those, if you own the underlying, especially if you don't sell options on that, I mean, first my advice is like don't be naked strangles on these things, 2x ETFs, because they will blow you out of the water.
Fact.
But on BMNU, if you own the shares, you must sell calls.
Yeah, because you got to protect.
I saw some of your ex tweets. People are like, "Why are you selling calls? It's this, it's that." I'm like, idiot. He's collecting the money. He's lowering his cost basis. He's not in the game for like forever. Look at our ASST. I'm just taking it up. You know what on that one? And I'm like, that's why you have to do it, because volatility drag is going to kill you slowly. It's like, you know, like death by 1,000 cuts.
It's brutal, man. It's brutal. Luckily, I was able to bring in almost 100 grand now in premiums on BMNU. And then I made a couple hundred on my little dollar swings. And then I sold them. And then I got ridiculed a little bit because I sold that 627, 50,000 shares, and then at 705. And I'm like, y'all know that just 2 flat days on BMNR and this fucker's back down to 6, right? Like, do you not understand that?
No, but you know, they don't understand it, bro. They don't understand it. I mean, there's you, there's me. I'm trying to educate you. Do not buy. And if you go read the disclaimer page on all these ETFs,
it tells you
this is not to be bought and held.
It tells you. It literally tells you. It literally tells you.
It literally tells you, like, this is like it's like the analogy is like you have a car. On the door, it says if you get in this car, your chances of death is very high. Will you get in the fucking car?
No.
It's the same thing. And people still do it. People go, oh, I'm holding TSL Alpha. There was a boneheaded comment. I'm in ZSL now, right? The 2x ETF inverse silver ETF, right? So I bought the shares at 3 something, sold the strangle, cover strangle. They're going to hopefully expire worthless, and I'll do it another round because I think silver is topping or somewhere pretty close to top. So long story short, that was look on your chart. Just go look at your chart. ZSL. Look at that chart. That's a 2x ETF. Zebra, Sam, Larry.
ZXL.
No, Zebra, Sam, Larry.
Got it. Okay.
Look at this.
Yeah. Pro shares ultra short.
Look at the chart.
It's crazy.
It's down to 3. And then now there are some boneheads saying, oh, I'm going to hold this forever. Yeah, it's going to go to 0.
or reverse split if you're lucky, I guess.
Yeah, like we had the ASST, you mean? Like the reverse split? Yeah, that fucking thing. But long story short, that
was my moonshot play. Needless to say, it looks like it's crashing and burning, but we tried.
I'm still holding. We'll see what happens. I'm still holding the leaps.
Fortunately, the shares don't expire. I'm not excited about the 5,000 leaps of what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah. I'm in the same boat on that one. I mean, that was my massive drag at the end of the year for me, man. It was like, fuck, I go like, what am I doing?
Dude, my freaking my year to date, we were at 1.5 million, and then I ended up just a shade over 3 million because of the massive drawdown.
Yeah.
And
We all had it.
it happens, right? It happens.
Yeah. So anyway, but when people, because I do rant because I'm trying to help you guys. Just listen. Listen for a minute. And a lot of people on BMNU or BMNR, right? They go like, oh, this or that. I'm like, look, BMNR is not going to go anywhere unless Ethereum moves or goes higher. I mean, that's the only way.
So you're saying Mr. Beast and the app was not going to move BMNR today?
What? I don't know. I don't even know if they passed the shareholder vote. Did they pass it?
Yeah, they passed the shareholder vote.
So they have 50 billion shares now?
Yeah, oh, fuck,
that's crazy, insanity, right?
Bro. No, I mean, granted, he's not going to like issue them all at once, hopefully.
No, obviously not. Well, he's issuing every day. Actually, he's compressing his own shares.
Can he though? Because the MNAV surely has to be under 1 now. So
no, still 1.1, still 1.1. Yeah, he's still selling ATM every single day. So he's compressing his own shares. Every other one is under 1. MSTR is under 1.
What are your thoughts on him slowing down the purchases of? Because they were acquiring more Ethereum when it was in the $4,000 range than they are now. But then he does I caught like 10 minutes of the deal yesterday. And he was like, we like Ethereum at these levels. And I'm like, what doesn't look like it based on the amount that you've been acquiring in comparison to, just a couple of months ago?
Well, they cannot do ATM and buy ETH if it goes below 1 MNAV, because then that's completely diluted. It's like eating your own flesh, right?
Right.
So he's doing it as fast as he can, as long as he's got a little bit of a premium. MNAV was 1.7 on BMNR. Now we're down to
like 60, when it was like 60 something.
Exactly. So he's doing it still. He should be doing it, because once it goes below MNAV, 1 MNAV,
can't do anything.
Then he should go buy the shares back. I mean, it's not a complicated situation here. But unless ETH goes higher, appreciably higher, BMNR is not going to go anywhere. Right.
But how does it work so theoretically, when they stake their entire, whatever, $13 billion, however much they have of Ethereum, and then that goes and generates you a pedestrian, and yes, I'm going to use the word pedestrian, 400 million, because you give the worst option seller in the world 13 billion, they're gonna luck into like $1 billion or $2 billion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But they're gonna go get $400 million, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Jesus walked on water," right? I'm like, dude, that's really not that much money. But does that help them to increase their MNAV artificially, because that's getting paid in Ethereum, right?
Yeah, that's getting paid in Ethereum, but obviously, like, I'm dealing with SBET, Sharplink Gaming. MNAV on that, I got in at 0.85, it's down to 0.75.
Right.
So, but like, they've been fully staking it, and they don't have as much Ethereum. They only have 900,000 Ethereum. In the last 3 months, they generated 12,000 ETH in staking, right? That's pretty big. So what they could do is
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. I mean, the return is going to be good, but I think Tom Lee's idea is not just to generate that $400 million worth. If you have to be a believer in this. If ETH goes to 10,000, that 400 million is going to be 2 billion. You know what I mean? Right. So to me, it's like staking is a good thing. You get your average 3.5%, 4%. Plus, if the rates go down, as the Trump administration would like it to be, that 4% yield is going to look gold. Okay. But I think the idea of them is not, I don't think he's doing it for that. I think what he's in the future, as he says, right, finance is going to be on Ethereum platform,
right?
Then that 4% is going to go to like 14%, because he's going to own 5% of all outstanding ETH and monetize it fully. I don't understand what this Mr. Beast thing was at all, by the way, but I don't even know what that was.
Well, but then there's also the Maven network that they're building out that should be ready in a quarter or so, or this quarter maybe.
Yeah, that L2
theoretically, people would be, other companies or people, whomever, are able to stake on there, and then they're going to get a little bit of a cut there as well. So that's
Yep.
another revenue stream.
Once you get that much stuff, monetizing is going to be much easier. And I don't think he's just doing it for staking, getting the 3.5-4%. The return is going to be a lot higher, maybe double or triple of what he's looking for. So look, this is all depending on the Ethereum price. If
Right,
Ethereum,
of course.
look, man, I mean, shit, I want it to go up. I mean, just let it go. Just go whatever.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. But the other thing, the bad thing for you,
the Mr. Beast thing, real quickly, is
what is that?
He had Mr. Beast. His name's Jimmy. He talked about getting into banking. And applied, I think, for some licenses and whatnot. He's got like 1 billion followers on this thing, right? He's the biggest content creator in the world. So I think the idea in a nutshell, and again, I saw like a snippet. They said it sucked. It wasn't worth looking at. So I just didn't have the time to look at it last night.
Yeah.
I'll probably do it over the weekend. But essentially they want to be able to like get in early and tap into that ecosystem.
All right. I get it.
And that's the game.
I thought it was just
trying to have multiple streams of income so that he doesn't pigeonhole BM&R as just a digital asset treasury. I think, to me, in a nutshell, that's the thesis.
I agree. You know, a lot of people are getting into this financial literacy education part, right? So Mr. Beast is going to get in one. You know, the guy on X, Grant Cardone, the big investor, billionaire. He's like from Florida. Yeah. He just opened an office in like 6 or 7 states. I'm doing it too, by the way. So I have a meeting with Lyft on the 26th with their, executive leadership committee, because I think financial literacy is so important and we don't do enough of it. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it,
Agreed. I mean, I feel like the rule of 72 is something that you need to learn like in high school.
Well, they used to have financial or not finance, not heavy finance, but balancing checkbook and this and that kind of bullshit, right? In high school or below, elementary school. They got rid of it all, and now they have like gender education or whatever for that. I'm like, bro, no, just teach them about credit cards.
They had home ec. Remember homemaking class?
Exactly.
I learned how to make fucking Rice Krispie treats. Dude, it was awesome.
Yeah, and then they got rid of checkbooks. They got rid of checkbooks. So it's all intentional, bro. They just want to make you a crack addict, plastic crack addict in this country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
not to get all political, but there's the guy that got killed, Charlie Kirk. He would always say that education's or like college is a scam. Yeah. I just feel like they want to brainwash you into just being an employee and put your head down for 40 years and don't strive for financial independence, and Medicare and Social Security's got you. And you know that if you just look at the numbers and the money, it's at some point there's more people than money, right? Because when FDR did the whole New Deal thing, it was a fraction of the population comparison to what it is today. So the math simply doesn't math. It's worse than the fucking 2 times leverage.
Absolutely. If you don't long-term invest on your own, because your financial freedom is only up to you. Nobody else. Government's definitely not going to help you. Government going to screw you anyway. Unless you have rich parents, that's not going to work either. And working somewhere in the W-2, that's definitely not going to get you there, unless you have like Google and whatever these kind of companies you work at, whatever. But my point in all this, financial literacy is lacking, and I'm going to do my part actually as much as I can with Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, DoorDash drivers, because they have no fucking idea about budgeting. The costs, right? They don't understand.
Yeah,
like you said, rule of 72, bro. I mean,
basic.
How fast will your money double?
Yeah,
simple as that. Or dollar cost averaging. People don't understand. People don't know any of this stuff.
Or just the simple. Like I always tell people, the no-brainer way to make it in the stock market is just put your head down and put $200 to $300 a month into an index fund. Call life good.
100%. 100%.
And you don't have to learn about earnings reports. You don't need Max Payne. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? just go do life and put your 200 to 300 away. And when you're 60, 65, if you start early, you'll be happy with yourself.
Like the perfect example of that, TJ, is okay. So let's go back all the way to 2000. Okay, if you bought the top tick before the .com crash, okay, right. Then if you bought the top tick in the index in 2000 before 2008 GFC, Okay.
Yeah.
Then if you bought the top tick before they started raising rates, and if you
Okay.
bought the top tick before this latest April swoon of 20+%, right? And dollar cost averaged, you know how far ahead
In
you would
April,
be,
are
even
you
if you
talking
bought the
about the
top
yen
tick.
carry trade or what? In
Yeah,
April?
no, the tariff musical
Oh, the
chairs, April.
Liberation Day. Liberation Day.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know how far ahead you would be, even if you bought the top tick, if you just dollar cost average.
You're still fucking killing it because you just look at
Yeah,
the chart that goes up and to the right.
yeah, dollar cost
Even
average, bro.
COVID looks like a blip on the freaking on
Oh,
the
I
chart.
forgot COVID. Yeah, put COVID in there. Yeah, put
Yeah.
that in there as well. Because if you dollar cost average, like you said, $300, $200 a month into some account, and then just it's like the oven, set it and forget it.
Yeah.
You'll be so far ahead. You don't need to deal with what we deal with. Because we're doing it because to get 50% as opposed to 10%. And some of us get, some of us don't. But the point is, just fucking do it, man. You know.
My late brother, my late buddy Greg, who's the one that sat me down and taught me the rule of 72.
Yeah.
He's 25 years old. I had heard it when I was 19, but I was too smart for it then, right?
Of course.
I had just become a dad. So
Yeah.
now life got serious for me at 25. And he was like, brother, this is what it's going to take to double your money. You'll be getting like, 10% is going to take like 6-7 years, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the short version of it.
Yeah.
And he was like, but you gotta learn crockpot investing. Is what he would call it. He
I
was
agree.
like, you're just putting a little bit of money into the crock pot and you're going to come back in 30 or 40 years and the stew's going to be ready, right? The soup's going to be ready and it's going to be
100%.
perfectly marinated. And
100%.
you can go do live. You don't even have to check on the crock pot. You don't have to do anything.
Nope.
You're betting on the economy.
100%, because that's outside your own company's 401k if you have it, or pension plan, or other investments you've made. Just put the money away. Like literally come back in 40 years, 30 years. That's gonna do, because a lot of people don't know this. In fact, on my website, we have a blog that we put weekly articles. Please subscribe, by the way. It's a free newsletter that I put out every Monday. Okay.
You want me to say it? I put it on the chat real quick.
Oh, okay, put it. Yeah. Well, it's www.sergioavedian.com is the website. I can do it too, but go ahead. And then there's a free newsletter that comes with it. You get a free newsletter every Monday at noon Pacific. One of the articles about Warren Buffett. Do you know when? Well, you probably do, but most people don't. Do you know when Warren Buffett made most of his hundreds of billions? After what age?
I'd say probably after the age of 70.
60.
60.
That's when the compounding effect took off. You know what I mean? Because people don't understand the power of compounding.
It was around after Geico, right? Like when did he buy Geico?
Because he had accumulated all the wealth, but then the compounding starts. Because what happens is people don't understand the power of compounding, right? Because they put 300 a month. Every month they look at it, they go, oh, you only went to 305. Oh, you went to 308. I'm like, that's okay. Just hold on for like a few years. Yeah. Because now, right, the power of compounding, rule of 72, dollar cost averaging. You know how the book is like investing for dummies? Yes. Bro, you don't have to do anything. We do gamma, this, all sell, call, put, cash, secure, put credit. Forget that shit. Invest. You must invest. If you don't invest, you're gonna be left behind, because nobody's coming for you, guaranteed. So
that's a fact. I mean, I just recently because I started my TJ the Will Joe LLC a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
When I was like trying to like go more legit, and I opened up the SEP IRA.
Yeah.
So I'm pumping it's just $500 a month, because I think there's like legal limits is like 60 grand, or there's like percentages of your portfolio, but it's like call it 60 grand. So I'm like, well, I'll just do 500, and then depending on how the taxes work out, you can tax shelter money by pumping it into your 401 into your SEP IRA, and it lowers your adjusted gross income.
Yeah, as an independent contractor, that's all you can do, and it's wonderful, right? Or Roth IRA, SEP IRA. By the way, I saw you started buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, $50 a day, and half of my YouTube and X earnings. I'm already at like approaching $7 grand in 3 weeks.
Unbelievable. I've been DCAing Bitcoin. I DCA'd Bitcoin every Monday at whatever price it was, the same dollar amount the whole year, and I'm doing it again this year. And
Dude, this shit adds up so quickly though. And I've been in the game full time now, 6 years, having, doing better than I ever dreamt in this lifetime. But I wanted to go through that exercise because this is 3 weeks into I think December the 14th is when I started. So a month into the Bitcoin journey, about 6,600 bucks. And the biggest purchase I think's been like 1,000. I had one because I had the YouTube payment come through.
Yeah.
I shot over 1,000, and then there's been maybe a couple of 500s, but it's just been the 50, right?
Keep
and
doing
I'm like,
it.
dude, this shit. Obviously, do whatever works for your budget, but dude, it adds up quickly. And then my buddy Greg, he challenged me, right? Because he was like, hey, I want you to think, because I didn't have money. I was 25, I was broke. I just became a dad. I'm like, life sucks right now. I got to figure this out, right? And my dad's like, hey, you have a family now. You have to go eat shit. If that pays you money, you go eat shit for your family, because making kids is one thing, supporting them is a whole different thing, right? So he gave me that lecture that the man who can't provide for his family is worse than an infidel, and making me feel like shit, right? So in other words, it was like, get your shit together and get it together yesterday. So I was like, okay, I gotta figure out how to make money. But I got to learn money. I got to understand what money is. Like, how does this shit function? It ain't just about getting a paycheck and living month to month.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show people that it doesn't matter where you start. The important thing is that you start and you have a game plan. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to do this $50 a day thing, and I'm going to get one fucking Bitcoin, because there's only 21 million of these things. I don't fully understand it. I don't think anybody does. I don't know who Satoshi is. Don't care. But I'm like, I'm going to get one of these things because I know they're not printing any of it. You know what I mean? Like, because the dollar is so discouraging, bro.
I was just, when you were in the green room, I put the dollar index chart.
It was like 110 and 90 something, whatever the hell
that's in a year and a half. That's like in 2 years, you're losing 7% every year. And so I mean, like you may think you're not, but you are. I mean, your buying power is pretty clear. If you go buy something 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, today, you're paying more. Is your income keeping pace with it? If you don't invest, look, dollar lost about 7%, 8% last year. How much did the S&P go up? 15%. Okay, so it's good, right? So even if you just invested plain vanilla index
fund, if you're fully invested, it's good. But
no, plain vanilla, just invest. But you got to start. You got to start somewhere. If you don't start, and then the other thing is, people, think investing takes millions of dollars. No, bro. It takes $10, $5. Open a Robinhood account, just dump it in there. It's that simple. But then people get intimidated by it, and I'm going to try to, try to educate some people, but we'll see.